ABS-CBN Sports proudly presents Resolve.
It's a rotation, but this time, Ulan challenging the blockers and lifting it.
Composure. Control.
From the other side. Passes again. And that. The late Domino in control so far of 7-2.
Confidence.
This is 200 to say. Yeah. Check ball. Will they go 5 straight? That game closes the set.
Perseverance.
Solo block. Focus naman ngayon. Roll. Set.
Oh, and Santiago still gets the line.
Grace.
Manta. Off to Daniel Juan. And we're tied to Pineda. Pineda.
Resilience.
Oh! Nobody home for Anderson! And as it is, Iuno si Valdez, malapit sa net. Kuha pa rin.
Tenacity.
Again.
This is the UAAP Season 76 Women's Volleyball Tournament. Greatness never ends.
It is the battle for positioning as we wind down the elimination round of the Women's Volleyball Tournament of Season 76 of the UAAP live from the arena in San Juan. Ito na po ang ating second game of your Sunday doubleheader hatid sa inyo ng ABS-CBN Sports right here on ABS-CBN Sports in Action. It is the National University Lady Bulldogs shooting for win number 10 as they sport an 11-1 record, and they will take on the Adamson Lady Falcons at 6-6, looking to solidify or get a foothold at the number 4 spot in the standings with about 2 games remaining for both teams. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Thank you for watching us. I'm Eric Lipan alongside Gretchen Ho, and courtside we'll be getting our reports from the Lady Bulldogs. We'll listen to Trisha Robredo, and from the Lady Falcons we'll hear from Mitch Del Carmen. Now Gretchen, very important obviously for both teams to keep on winning before the end of the elimination round.
Yes, actually, Eric, we have a very, very important and exciting game today, both for NU and Adamson. NU needs to win this game to gain confidence as they go up against LaSalle on Feb 15. On the other hand, we have Adamson. They need to, as you said, they need to solidify their standing in the Final Four. And actually, that upset a while ago, UP versus FEU, gives them sort of a cushion in this game. But if they want to take that Final Four slot, they have to win today's game.
To avoid the playoff, at least win today. It's going to be a tough task, especially against National University, but that's why you play the game. Let's take a look at the team standings.
As we take a look at the team standings, we see NU on second place with an 11-1, only seeking to solidify their bid against DLSU. They want to win this game again to gain their confidence and go for their 10th straight win. On the other hand, we have Adamson in the middle of the standings. Every game for them now is very, very important, especially today. We have FEU losing to UP, so if they want to gain a psychological and a real advantage against FEU, they have to win this game.
At least already right now, they're half a game ahead of FEU. A win here today, a full game ahead. So talaga mas malaking kumpiyansa para naman sa NU na banggit mo nga. Gretchen, obviously, they're a team that towards the end, especially during the last few seasons, kinakabahan, especially when the pressure gets higher. And yun nga, a win today and a win the next game, more confidence going into that match against LaSalle.
But actually, we see Adamson performing very well in their past games. Their game against Ateneo, they challenged them to 5 sets. And their last game against FEU, that was a very, very tough one. But they won that in 4 sets. So, if we take a look at the game against
puntahan natin yung first meeting muna, Gretchen, between NU and Adamson. Yun yung nangyari sa Mall of Asia Arena. It was a long one. I was covering this game, actually. And it was a game that was sort of marred by slow plays and both teams weren't really 100%. But despite the fact, yun, dun mo ma-appreciate yung NU, their maturity or they're starting to mature because yun nga, despite both teams struggling, itong NU overcoming an always solid, always consistent Adamson University.
That was actually a very, very close game for both squads. In set 1, Adamson won over NU by just 2 points. In set 2, NU taking over the momentum by winning that one in 25-21. In set 3, we all know that when the two teams are tied a set apiece, the set 3 is very, very important. So NU capped that off 30-28. Again, very close. In set 4, NU takes over the game 25-20. If we take a look at the numbers, we have 62 spikes for NU and 43 for Adamson. But what was shocking was the number of serves that Adamson had over NU, 9-0. However, that wasn't still enough to take on the offense of NU. So NU's offense was too much. We know that NU is a way taller team than Adamson. So they have a lot of plays. They have a lot of players who can spike well, a lot of options when it comes to their offense. That's why Adamson had quite a difficult time stopping NU.
Alright, ito pag-usapan natin, Gretchen, si Dindin Santiago, playing in her final year for National University, napakaganda nung nilalaro niya, no? Especially against UP in their last game. She really took hold of, the team, and despite the fact that medyo may mga problema siya sa knees, she still was able to perform and, score team high honors para sa Lady Bulldogs.
Yes, we see Dindin really leading the NU squad, contributing in terms of attacks, in terms of blocks, in terms of service aces, and even the floor defense. So, very dominant talaga si Dindin during the past games. And we know that today, the NU squad is counting very much on Dindin Santiago.
Ito, tingnan natin yung numbers in that game.
If we take a look at the numbers, NU dominating that first set 25-17. However, UP showing a little resistance in the second set. Actually, nauna sila sa set point, but hinabol ng NU to win that set 26-24. So we see their mental toughness on the part of NU, able to win that set even though that was very close. But bumigay na yung UP nung third set. And if we take a look at the numbers, again, NU dominating all the categories in terms of spikes, in terms of blocks, in terms of service. But I think what is crucial for NU and what keeps things going right for them is that they're able to limit their errors to just 9.
Let's take a look at the numbers of Dindin Santiago this season so far, and they have been, as expected, on a very high level throughout her career. Pataas ang kanyang performance, and it's at its peak right now, and this is what NU should take advantage of. Yung performance ni Dindin Santiago. She is playing, as expected niya.
And she's really leading this team. She contributes whether it's offense or defense. And we have seen a very spectacular performance from her all throughout the season. And that is why she is on the race for the MVP award. 20.5 points a game for Dindin, 6.8 points a set, and 14 spikes a game. So, sobrang nag-mature na si Dindin. We see her spiking everywhere. We see her spiking in the utility position, in the open position, in the middle, dominating even from the back line. So we've seen a very, very wonderful performance from Dindin Santiago.
Now, Tricia Robredo spoke earlier to Ejet Mabayad about NU avoiding relaxing and about this winning streak na dala-dala nila coming into today's game against Adamson. Let's listen in.
Coach Edget, nakwento niyo nga po sa akin na isa sa pinakamahirap gawin ay yung pag-sustain ng energy level ng girls. So how do you go about this problem po?
Kasi para sa amin yung para ma-sustain yun is nasa kanila rin yun kasi sila na yung naglalaro during the court and lumalabas lang yun kapag dahil sa attitude natin during game. So kung kaya nila yung kalaban, nandun sana. Hindi dapat sila nagre-relax and continue sana. Kung ano yung laro nila is ganun pa rin. Bigay pa rin nila yung best nila kahit sinong kalaban.
Okay, so Coach Edget performing very well po ngayon ang Lady Bulldogs. Baka pwede niyo naman po sa amin makwento kung ano yung sekreto o yung susi sa performance na to.
Ang sa amin lang naman, nag-enjoy lang kami. Siyempre sa training, ginagawa lang namin yung dapat namin gawin. And then during game, na-enjoy lang namin and at the same time, ginagawa namin ng tama kung ano yung dapat gawin.
Maraming salamat Coach at back to you guys.
Consistency. Gusto ni Coach Edget Mabayad, and have fun throughout the games. Puntahan naman natin itong Adamson University in their last game against FEU. And of course, Adamson, we all know them to be a consistent team all throughout ever since kay Mami Dulce Pantipano. They're a kind of team that performs almost similar the last season before that. They continue that tradition of high volleyball excellence.
And we actually saw that in the past game against FEU. We saw that it was a very, very close game against FEU. Could have gone the other way around. But FEU struggling without Remy Palma in their lineup. We know that Palma is really the leader to this team. And we see them playing without Palma in the first set, and they really struggled 25-15 in the first set. In the second set, they brought back Palma even though she was injured. And that was enough to energize the FEU team for them to win set 2. In the third set, Adamson adjusts to the defense of FEU by barring their shots, having more plays, and their spikers really stepped up in that game, especially Pineda, who stepped up in the last minutes of set 4. They were trailing behind by 6 points, but they were able to cut off the big lead because of Pineda's run. So we see, take a look at the numbers, we see 48 spikes to 31 only for FEU, and we see the offense and the experience and the maturity of Adamson working for them. However, in the blocking department, we know that Adamson isn't really a very tall team, so FEU dominating that category. However, if we take a look at the service opponent errors, magkatabla lang naman. Yung nagkaiba lang talaga yung offense ng Adamson, nag-adjust sila, hinanap nila yung butas ng FEU, kaya nanalo sila sa game na yun.
Now, nabanggit mo, Gretchen, yung maturity nitong Adamson, ano? Puntahan natin itong interview kanina lang ni Mitch Del Carmen. Actually, wag muna, no? Ito muna si Pineda, yung kanyang performance. She's the leader of this team. Kung si Dindin para sa NU, ito naman si Pineda para sa Adamson. And she's been performing as well up to par and up to expectations ng kanilang fans.
She's been scoring double digits almost every game for the Adamson squad. But for today's game, for them to win against a tough squad like NU, they can't rely on Bang Pineda alone. They have to set to their other attackers and really spread out their offense. Kasi we know that NU is a very tall blocking team. For them to go fast against that defense, they have to really vary their shots and their plays. But we see now that Pineda is performing very well with 22.5 points per game and 20 spikes a game, which translates to 4.4 spikes per set.
Now, ito, puntahan na natin itong interview ni Mitch Del Carmen with Sherwin Meneses, the head coach of Adamson Lady Falcons. And they talk about, or at least Coach Meneses talks about, the importance of the next 2 games and anong kailangan nilang ilabas para makakuha sila ng panalo going into the end of the eliminations.
Coach Sherwin, yung last 2 games nga natin, naging stretch games para sa team. Yung Ateneo, 5 sets, FEU, 4 sets. Ganun pa rin ba po ang may expect na mga manonood natin para sa araw na to?
Hopefully, maging ganun yung mangyari ulit. Maging maganda yung laro namin. Mas mataas yung kumpiyansa nila ngayon kasi galing sa panalo. Mas maganda siguro yung papakita namin ngayon.
Coach, for our last 2 games, gaano ito ka-importante para sa team aside from it being a qualifier, more or less in the Final Four?
Napaka-importante nung game namin, 2 games versus NU and UST kasi yun yung magiging decide na kung sino talaga yung papasok sa Final Four. Ayaw namin iasa yung pagpasok namin sa Final Four sa ibang team. So, kami ang magkatrabaho. Hopefully, makapasok kami sa Final Four.
Thank you, Coach Sherwin, and good luck po. Back to you guys.
Volleyball tournament of your season 76 UAAP. Officiating this match, our first referee, Jay Delequito, national referee. Our second referee, Bob Molinap, national referee. Now let's meet the starters. First for the second running, National University Lady Bulldogs. Number 2, Ivy Perez. Number 4, Mina Aganon. Number 9, Aiko Urdas. Number 17, Myla Pablo. Number 3, Jaja Santiago. Number 16, team captain, Dindin Santiago. Fair libero, number 5, Fatima General. And the head coach of the Lady Bulldogs, Etchet Babayan. And now, starting for the hosts, Adamson Lady Falcons. Number 4, Mylene Pan. Number 14, May Magatuno. Number 9, Faye Guevara. Number 5, Mayet Zapanta. Number 15, team captain Marlene Cortel. Number 1, Bang Pineda. Fair libero number 7, Shelly Tempiatura. And the head coach of the Lady Falcons, Sherwin Menezes.
Marlene Cortel, number 15, came up with 12 points in the last game. She, along with Luisa May Zapanta, number 5, she had 10 points. They will be pivotal in this game against NU, and they're going to have to limit the Santiago sisters, but also the supporting cast. Pina Aganon had a terrific game against UP. She came up with 12 points along with Jaja Santiago, second leading scorers para sa NU. So Gretchen, ang daming kailangan pantayan dito ng Adamson if they are to defend well against this very offensive-minded NU team.
You know, I spoke with them earlier before the game, and they said that they prepared for this game by concentrating on their defense. They practiced blocking the whole week. They practiced their floor defense. So, alam naman natin na NU is currently the best spiking team. So, they really need to work on their defense, knowing that they're not as tall as NU. But we also know that Adamson is a very good defensive team.
Exactly, and for them to still concentrate on defense, that speaks volumes about the commitment Sherwin Menezes and the Lady Falcons have to Adamson's volleyball program. Is despite the fact that yun na nga ang forte nila is defense, they still concentrate on that, especially up against National University.
Pero alam naman natin na for them to win against a strong and tall team like NU, the other players, as you've mentioned earlier, like Zapanta and Cortel and Villanueva and Guevara, they all need to step up and score some points in today's game. Hindi sila pwedeng umaasa lang kay Pineda.
Let's get our first report in from National University. Let's go to Tricia Robredo.
Eric and Gretch, despite having secured a spot in the Final Four, Coach Edget still considers these last couple of games as very crucial for the Lady Bulldogs. Una, dahil meron silang pinangangalagaan ng game-winning streak, at pangalawa, dahil pagkakataon pa tong iangat ang laro. Now, going up against a contending team, the girls are expected to be on their toes, especially because, as you've mentioned earlier, Adamson was able to steal a set from them in their first meeting. However, Coach also told the girls there's no reason to play tight and be rattled. Sabi niya nga, mas may pressure sa Lady Falcons ang laro ngayon, and let's use this to their advantage. Don't let them gain momentum. Simula pa lang, make your presence felt at banatan na nito. Back to you, Gretchen and Eric.
Thank you, Tricia. Well, no need to actually be nervous or rattled at all because as of now, they already have the twice-to-beat advantage secured in their pocket by virtue of their 11-1 record.
Medyo nabawasan ng pressure ang Adamson ngayon. Kanina nakita natin sila sobrang nagre-rejoice nung natalo yung FEU. So, they're coming to this game a little bit more relaxed. But still, they have to win this game if they want to make sure that they're part of the Final Four. And again, we see there, Guevara stepping up for Adamson with that running shot.
Well, they're off to a good start here at 4-1 in set number 1. And Adamson is a team that really starts off very well naman. So it's rare that you see them start off sync. Pero ngayon, they're really playing extremely well, both defensively and offensively. And for more about Adamson, let's go to Mitch Del Carmen.
Yes, Eric and Gretch, starting last Friday, the Lady Falcons gave their full attention to their team's floor defense and their basics because for Coach Sherwin Menezes, if they do not perfect it, they will not be able to go to the next level and execute their play. Similarly for Amanda Villanueva and Mylene Pad, this has been the reason for the 19-point deficit in spike Viking that they encountered in their first meeting against NU. Now, tungkol naman kanina sa game natin, kitang-kita naman na napakataas ng energy ng Adamson at pagkatapos ng panalo ng UP laban ng FEU. And when I asked Coach Sherwin how this will affect their energy for today's game, ang sagot niya, hindi pa yan nawawalan ng energy dahil napakarami pa nilang bala para ngayon. In fact, mas ginanahan pa nga raw sila. Eric and Reg?
Thanks, Mitch. Yeah, obviously, mas gaganahan talaga sila. We talked about it in the pregame, Gretchen, na nabawasan ng napakalaking pressure ang Adamson with FEU losing to UP kanina.
Nabawasan sila ng pressure pero alam nila na kailangan nila manalo at gusto nila manalo. We've seen that in their faces the past few games, how determined they are to get into that Final Four, especially with Zapanta and Pineda on their last year.
But Paat blocked at the net by Jaja Santiago. That is our block of the set from Betadine, 7.5%. Feminine wash for Red Days. It's better to be protected.
Jaja towering over that middle blocker.
Cortel continues her scoring streak from the last game and puts a kill in.
Cortella is seemingly very quiet inside the court, but if you take a look at her stats, she contributes consistently for Adamson.
Very unassuming because you have your Pinedas, your Villanueva, and si Zapanta. So, siyempre, they take most of the spotlight away.
And Pineda with a powerful hit.
We talked about her contributing hard here today. 8-3 here in set number 1. Adamson leading over NU. Here's our Gatorade fueled spike of the game from Gatorade. Win from within. That's definitely more than fueled.
Down the line hit from Pineda was too much for Dindin Santiago.
And you've seen that, you've been on the other end of that a lot during your college years. How is it like when it's on the way coming from the hands of Pineda?
Mahirap talaga bantayan si Pineda. Una-una dahil mataas ang pagkuha niya sa bola. So, mahirap siya i-block. Tsaka ang bilis niya pumalo. So, kailangan talaga may naka-ready ka na depensa para kay Pineda. Kung single blocker lang yan, kailangan may nakatapat ka ng tao. It's either down the line or cross court.
So far, so good para sa Adamson in this game if they have Pineda hitting like that very early.
Adamson coming in very confident, taking in their confidence from that last game against FEU.
Got a block on Jaja by Maylin Paat. Pablo with defense behind. From Makatuno, Pineda, off-speed, yes!
Goes through the defense of NU.
Just showing us what's in her arsenal.
And how smart she is as a player.
10-3, set number 1.
Oh, that service error from Zapanta cuts the lead to 6.
But we all got to remember, despite the fact that Adamson is leading comfortably here by 6 points, the first meeting nila, nanalo ang Adamson in set number 1. So NU is the type, especially against, at least based on the meeting against Adamson, they're the type that will fall maybe in the first set against.
But they will, and they can come back.
Yeah, they've shown it.
In the second set.
Pero ito, Gretchen, medyo magulo ang floor defense ng National University.
Nagkakapaan pa sila sa start ng game. Pero kung titignan natin, if we take a look at UAAP season 75, it's always been a close game against NU and Adamson. Actually, they're tied 1-1. They won 1 game each against each other. So, tignan natin kung may repeat.
Oh, Pineda is just banging away this afternoon. Pineda in the middle. Blocked. Good pickup by Paat. Free ball.
Lucky shot there for Pineda.
He almost got the point.
Oh, that was outside.
But you can tell from the look on the face of Pineda, she has her game face on. She is extremely serious today. She's usually serious every game, but today she has that extra oomph in her game.
I think it comes from that game against FEU again. She really rallied Adamson to win. Come from behind win in that 4th set.
Again,
smart shot.
Not expecting the off-speed from Pineda. Another point for Adamson.
Pineda varying your shots from strong hits to off-speed hits.
Great play from Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Expect more from the small sedan. Over reception there from Aganon, who's looking a little tense. Pineda! Oh, wow! Somebody stop this
Going
girl.
through the block of David Santiago.
And obviously concerned si Edget Mabayad about the offense of Pineda. Let's listen to NU.
I-over mo, ano mo lang, bibigyan mo lang sa kalaban.
Sama ng blockings natin.
Ha?
Blockings, tsaka yung pattern natin sa depensa,
I-over
wala.
mo, hindi yung ganun na bibigyan mo lang sa
Wala mo na,
kalaban.
nandyan na.
Kaya pinitin mo
Iangat
i-set.
mo na lang.
Malayo pa yan. Okay, malayo pa yan ha.
Huwag nyo silang bigyan ng momentum, ibalik natin.
Ba't ka nagugulat yan, Aiko?
Hindi, yung blockings natin, ayusin natin yung block natin. Ayusin yung block natin.
Contrary to the report of Tricia Robredo, as we take a look at this hit in the middle by Pineda, they're not playing relaxed at the National University. It seems like they're the ones at 6-6 in the standing, while itong Adamson playing very loosely, Gretchen.
And you struggling in this first set, struggling in terms of defense. Medyo nagkakagulo sila sa, yun nga sabi ni Coach Edget, sa pattern, sa defense nila. And even though Pineda is going up against Dindin Santiago, Dindin can't seem to close the doors for Pineda.
Well, Dindin's offense can't be questioned, definitely. A wishy, oh wow moment of the game. Open up to everyday surprises. But like what we mentioned, Karina, she can't do it alone. She's gonna need the help of all her other teammates. Get that offense going para sa Lady Bulldogs. What a block there. Dindin doing it all, offense and defense.
And another one for Bang Pineda. Talagang tinutulak na lang niya yung bola sa kamay ni Dindin. Nakikita niya. And then tinutulak niya para pumasok yung hit niya. Being a very powerful hitter, that's very effective for Bang.
Pineda can do no wrong here in set number 1. Perez.
Oh, Dindin finding that hole in the Adamson defense.
Well, it's all been Santiago for National University, Gretchen. You know, where would they be without the offense and defense of Dindin today?
Been performing well from running hits to drop shots. But now she's on the back line for a service. Over receive.
Bordas will set it up. Here comes Aganon coming off a 12-point performance. Zapanta still warming up. They go to the other side, Guevara. Aganon. Good rally. Zapanta. Perez.
And you able to block the shots of Adamson. And finding the hole at the back of the defense.
It wasn't a strong spike, ano? Medyo
Placing lang.
pinacing lang ni Mai Urdas.
Nakita niya na nakapasok yung depensa ng Adamson. But still, Adamson leading here by 6 points.
One of the best servers in the UAAP, but she puts that one straight to the net.
Unneeded error for NU.
So comfortable lead here in set number 1 for Adamson, 15 serving 18. Or serving 8. Ooh, no block on Mina Aganon, and she
Exclamation point
puts it away.
for Mina Aganon. Aganon has also been performing very well for NU. We know that she's one of the most reliable spikers for the Lady Bulldogs.
She's like Magdalene Cortel, ano? Very quiet, unassuming
Pero
on the court.
consistent.
Yeah. Jaja just long. And Adamson with 16, leading over NU with 9 here in set number 1. Former Lady Falcon, si Kim Luk.
Kalaban namin yan. And Micah Ortiz.
That's right, from USD.
Pablo. That miss hit.
Cortel goes above the blockers. Pablo again. Oh!
Hitting it off the block. Smart move there by Pablo. Seeing the blocker in front of her and just hitting it.
And that's what you like about Pablo, no? She may be inconsistent at times, pero she has no shortage of power when it comes to
And courage.
when
Talagang
hitting.
hataw kung hataw.
Yeah. Speaking of, Cortel again. That's what you like about Adamson also, Gretchen, ano? They're distributing the ball. Kanina, marami-raming palo si Pineda ngayon.
Saka 4 naman ang
That's right.
palo natin.
So they're really confusing the defense of National University, enjoying also a 7-point advantage here. 17-10.
Off-speed shot. Pablo again.
Oh, wow.
Pineda
When you need
again
the point,
off the block. Talagang pumapasok yung hits niya sa blockers ng NU.
It's one of those days for Sheila Pineda.
For NU to block that shot, kailangan papayungan talaga nila. And you can't leave Pineda with one blocker.
But actually, dalawa yun, no? Doon pa si
Pero
Jaja.
nakalusot pa rin siya.
pa rin. But from the back row naman, Dindin Santiago. It's the Santiago Pineda show, sort of, here in set number 1.
Dindin showing some frustration on her face.
That's one of a kind. That hit from the back row. Pag si Dindin, that's too long naman. Para kay Jaja, who apologizes to the bench.
Again, unnecessary errors for NU. You know, we see Adamson much more relaxed in today's game. But NU still struggling to find themselves in this game.
Wow, gigil na gigil si Dindin. You can see her on the approach for
Great
that
dig
shot.
there from Pineda.
Here's Pineda. Perez. Pablo. Oh,
Pablo just hitting it down the line.
she's a lot more consistent now than at least I've ever seen her. She's an up and down sort of a player, especially pag simula first and second sets. Pero right now, she's, you know, her percentage is pretty high.
And Pablo is actually also a very high leaper.
Yeah.
So mahirap din siya i-block.
Taas na tumalon, matangkad pa.
Malakas pa
Malakas
pumalo.
pa pumalo. Gail Rose Valdez coming in for the serve here. 12-19. Pineda blocked out of bounds. I mean, right now, if you're Dindin, you gotta be thinking, I'm here already, and Ivy Perez is beside me on the block, pero we still can't control Pineda.
But NU trying to put a double blocker, alam na nila napupunta yung bola kay Pineda. Medyo hindi lang nila pinasok yung kamay nila. Kaya palabas yung block.
Aganon, blocked by
Great
Guevara.
defense from Adamson.
Right on the line. Mula kay Dindin Santiago.
Dindin doing everything for National University.
Yeah, right now, ano, if not for Dindin, this would be a much bigger hole para sa National University. He's been doing it all. There have been some points from Pablo, from Aganon, maybe one or two from Jaja Santiago, pero not much mula sa Lady Bulldogs.
But you know, Adamson has been so spectacular in terms of defense. They're able to control the other attackers of NU. Again, we learned from them that they focused on their defense during training. They focus on their blocks, they focus on their floor defense, kaya medyo nahirapan yung NU.
It is showing today. Ordaz.
Ordaz, another powerful hitter for NU.
Guevara. Wow, everything going right for Adamson right now at 22-13 at timeout by National University. We'll go to Coach Ejit Mabayad's huddle.
Alam mo palo natin.
Dalawa lang. Spiker nila, dalawa.
Dalawa spiker nila.
Sa kamay ng maliit na
Hindi
blocker.
tayo makablock. Sarap ka ba ngayon?
Huwag mo sabay, dalawa lang. Tawin mo yung isa.
Kombinasyon ka ngayon. Play number 2.
Bantayan mo yung weekend.
Ano sa isimo lang sa
Kasi
dulo.
sinasabayan nawawala ng tao yung gitna
Pagsi.
natin. Si Dindin. Lipat na rito. Talaga lilipat siya. Kaya sa'yo na yung quicker doon.
A bit of helter-skelter play para sa National University ngayong first set. Gretchen, ano, kitang-kita yung concern sa boses ni Ejet Mabayad.
Ang sabi nga niya, wag daw iwanan yung gitna dahil their blockers are now concentrated on their open hitters, specifically Pineda and Cortel. But yun nga, nawawala ng tao sa gitna. Kaya yung Guevara taking advantage of that situation.
Zapanta off the block. Bola or puntos ng Adamson again. And it's clearly showing here each and every single time NU attacks, Gretchen. Ano, yung depensa na nabanggit nga ni Miss Del Carmen kanina, pinag-practicean talaga ng Adamson. I mean, NU can barely crack the defense of Adamson.
Talagang nakokontrol nila yung spikers ng NU.
Yeah,
But they're also playing very smart. We know that NU is very tall, but they know how to hit the ball off the blockers kung dalawa na yung nakabantay.
Take a look at that floor defense of Adamson. Well, commendable din yung sa NU, at least in this rally. Ano? Pero mostly in this set, it's all been Adamson sa depensa.
Best digging team ngayon, ang Adamson, thus far.
A huge hole to climb out from para kay Dindin Santiago, and NU at 14-23. Guevara. Poor set there mula kay Perez. Guevara again, block. Good defense behind by Cortel. Cut shot there by Zapanta. Here comes Ordaz. Over received.
And that was outside for
Huge.
Aganon.
Huge mistake para kay Aganon. That was a gift already.
Actually, maganda nun pumalo sa side na yon dahil yung blocker ni Aganon, si Makatuno.
Right now it's set point. Adamson 24-14.
And that was too long for Makatuno.
Hey, they can afford a
Some
service
errors.
error. Kahit dalawa pa siguro. I know that's kind of funny, especially in a hard-fought game like this. Pero it's a big cushion right now for Adamson.
Definitely a big lead.
NU, on the other hand, can't afford any mistake at this point. Zapanta. Again, good defense by Adamson. That's just on the
That
line.
was in. Adamson takes set one.
What energy for the Lady Falcons coming into this game against National University, a team they lost to in 4 sets in the first round. But right now they are in control, winning set number 1, 25-15. 25-15 Adamson over NU in set number 1. Well, this is typical if you compare it to the first meeting between these two teams in the first round of eliminations. 28-26, if I'm not mistaken, in favor of Adamson. So, kumbaga, it's not unusual. Pero dito magkakatalo sa set number 2. Pero tingnan muna natin yung highlights ng set number 1.
Bang Pineda leading the offense for Adamson, and Dindin scoring for NU, doing most of the points. Again, Pineda is unstoppable for Adamson. Going through the tall blockers, ginagamit talaga niya yung blockers ng NU para makapasok at makagawa ng point. And that is what Adamson has been doing. They have been very strong, very solid on the floor in terms of blocking, in terms of floor defense. And as they say, the best defense, the best kind of offense is defense.
Of course. You know what they say, offense wins games, defense wins championships, right?
Adamson really focusing on their defense.
True.
And strengthening actually their attacks. They're distributing the ball very well from open to utility to middle, and NU can't seem to get a hold of their defense. For them to win set number 2, they have to improve on their blocking. They have to focus in on the top scorers of Adamson and try to frustrate these spikers. They also have to improve on their floor defense. As we take a look at the stats, we have 9 attacks only for NU. Medyo nahirapan sila sa reception, nahirapan sila to convert a point. And Adamson again leading with 15 attacks. Pagdating sa blocks, Adamson with just 1 block and NU with 2. Service aces, 1 for Adamson, 0 for NU. But when it comes to unforced errors, we see NU committing 8 errors. 8 significant errors. So, tingnan natin sa set 2 kung gigising na ang NU.
+4 ang kalaban ni Pineda itong NU in errors. Set number 1. Aganon. That's going to be a point for Adamson. Net violation.
Another error for NU.
And Pineda, who's serving, is playing inspired volleyball, I have to say.
You know, it's never good to start off a set with an error.
Of course.
Medyo nakakababa ng moral yan eh. So, what NU needs to do is to really just defend against the offense of Adamson and really try to boost their confidence coming into the second set. Kalimutan na yung set number 1.
Well, NU is not a team known to be, you know, stable in terms of confidence. They're a team that wavers up and down. Kaya nga hirap sila, especially when they go up against, you know, the high-ranking teams in the UAAP, like LaSalle. Pero that's a true test for them right now. If they can regain their confidence, especially in this pressure-packed situation against Adamson, and if they lose a point here, a wishy-oh-wow moment of the game, open up to everyday surprises. This is the true litmus test right now for NU.
You know, we were saying a while ago that this game is important for NU, for them to build and gain their confidence on the way to their game against LaSalle. Para wala na yung game nung first round that they lost in 3 straight sets when people were expecting a much closer, a much tighter game. So if they're able to overcome this hump, then maybe it would help them against LaSalle.
Malaking bagay yun. What a performance by Adamson in set number 1, and so far they're good here. 2-1. Let's go to Mitch Del Carmen.
Eric and Gretch, given that the Lady Bulldogs is a tall team, Coach Sherwin tells his girls to hustle more for NU dahil sigurado naman daw na mas kakailangan nilang gumalaw at umeffort pa para makapuntos. Kaya kahapon, nag-jogging sila mula CCP hanggang Adamson para mas lalo pa silang makondisyon sa game ngayon. And despite Adamson's upbeat game, Coach Sherwin highlights the importance of their service, that one service error can turn a game around. Kaya't wag daw nila itong ibibigay ng basta-basta. He lastly challenges his middle spikers to block all possible spikes from NU. Sabayan daw nila ang blocking ng NU kahit natatakal ba ang kanilang kalaban. Eric and Gretch.
Thank you, Mitch. Kaya pala medyo matraffic sa Manila kahapon.
May nag-jogging.
Jogging ang Lady Falcons. I'm sure that a lot of the fans were inspired by their, you know, training yesterday and their performance here today. Pero, yeah, sumasabay naman sila. Medyo ngayon na nakabawi through the attack of Dindin and yung spikes ni Perez. Medyo nakakaputos ngayon ng NU, and they're leading by 2 points ang Lady Bulldogs, 4-2.
But we see Adamson really trying to hold their defense against NU.
Speaking of NU, let's check in with Trisha Robredo.
Well, Eric and Gretch, I have been repeatedly told that one of the major opponents of athletes is injury. While it's unfortunate that some of the Lady Bulldogs entered this game suffering from such, sila na mismo ang nagsabi sa akin na hindi ito excuse. Magpatuloy hanggat kaya at magtulungan hindi lang sa execution, kundi sa pagpalakas ng loob ng isa't isa. So it was a very bad set for the Lady Bulldogs, but Coach Edget asked the girls to just move forward. In the huddle, he gave them several reminders. Number 1, ang disorganized daw nila kaya di maayos ang depensa. Keep vision and always communicate. Number 2, tigasan ninyo ang kamay, lalo na sa pagbablock ng tira nitong si Bang Pineda. Lastly and most importantly, Coach asked his girls na ngumiti naman. Gagando ang laro ninyo kung i-enjoy ninyo ang laro. Back to you, Eric and Gretch.
Thank you, Trisha. Yeah, medyo nininervyos talaga NU. If you look at their faces, especially in set number 1, they look tense.
Medyo na-frustrate sila dahil they can't seem to get everything together. Medyo disorganized sila.
Block of the set from Adamson. Betadine 7.5% feminine wash for Red Days. It's better to be protected.
You know, I think what's working for Adamson is that they're trying to minimize errors, but on the other hand, the NU committed a lot of errors in that first set. And right now, we see NU playing at a much higher level than set number 1.
They've adjusted a little bit. Drive for the win, play the game from Suzuki Swift Desire. All your desires made compact from Suzuki Way of Life. A little bit more confident ang laro ng NU right now.
And they're varying their shots.
That's why they lead. Well, not anymore, but they led by 1 point momentarily. But Zapata equalizing at 5-all.
Again, we refer to the timeout of Coach Edget. Sabi niya, tigasan nyo yung kamay nyo sa pagbablock kasi nakakalusot yung bola ng Adamson. So, as we've seen in that last play earlier, nakalasot na naman yung palo ni Zapata.
They were really concerned about the performance of Pineda in set number 1. Nabanggit yun ni Agent Mabayad in between the sets. Perez will get a rest. And Soliven will check in for her. 6 serving 5. A lot of good start, for both teams. Still error prone at the start of set number 2.
Pero tabla tayo, 6-all.
Cortel.
Better blocking now for NU.
Yeah, this was their weakness in set number 1. Achilles heel of sorts. Ang daming nakalusot na palo from the likes of first of all, Pineda, Cortel, Zapanta. Pero ngayon, medyo much more focused, much more solid defensively.
Medyo mahirap kasi yun kapag lumulusot lang yung bola sa block. Medyo mahirap depensahan yun. Kailangan naka-cover ka talaga. So, para matulungan mo yung depensa sa likod, kailangan solid ka na from the net. Or kakausapin mo yung mga tao sa likod on how to help you as a blocker.
Lilin has been struggling with reception. Ngayong set na to, 2 reception errors para sa kanya. Adamson leads by 1, 8-7 over NU. Trisha Santos from UST, ano? If I'm not mistaken.
Part of UST, I think. Team B?
Yes. Daming nanonood today, ano? Obviously, pivotal game for Adamson most especially. USD unfortunately, they are out of contention for a Final Four slot after losing yesterday.
Actually, very exciting games today. Yung kanina, yung game ng FEU versus UP. That was really a great game.
Oh, very. And I'm sure a lot of fans from FEU were surprised about that outcome. Obviously, with the record that FEU has at 6-6, they were heavily favored against UP at 1-11.
FEU really feeling the loss of Remy Joy Palma. It's really hard if you lose your leader inside the court.
It's suspected she has a tear, I think either an MCL or an ACL tear, but they can't determine that until she goes through an MRI procedure. So tomorrow daw, sabi ni Mark Pulina, athletics director ng FEU, tomorrow she will undergo an MRI to find out what the problem is.
And we've had a lot of injuries this season that has really affected the teams as a whole.
True. Great play. Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Expect more from the small sedan. Ito, Gretchen, Adamson, kumakawala na naman. They lead by 3. Good defense on that dump by Jaja Santiago. Oh, great placing from Pineda.
Adamson just finding the hole in the NU defense.
And this is what you appreciate about Adamson, ano, Gretchen. Despite a little confusion, medyo nagtatatakbo sila, they're in a hurry, they still find a way to put a proper play. And puntahan natin itong huddle ng National University.
Huwag tayo masyadong tight ang galaw. Relax lang kayo, relax. Kasi masyado kayo mga seryoso. Enjoy nyo lang yung laro dyan. Enjoy nyo. Adamson, ini-enjoy lang kayo. Tandaan nyo, laro. Walang pressure. Maglaro lang kayo.
Kailangan natin to. Focus muna tayo ngayong game ba to. Itong
Bumalik na naman yung mga
sabayan natin yan.
The head coach leading with the team. Relax lang. Eh, Adamson, ini-enjoy kayo. Sabi ni Ejet Mamayad na si Dindi naman, yung team leader, saying, ito lang, mag-focus lang tayo dito lang. She means this set, ito lang, ipanalo natin ito. Because obviously, if you drop the set, you're not going to be in a good position coming into set number 3.
You know, it's quite ironic. Actually, the pressure has to be on Adamson, but they're playing like they've got nothing to lose.
Exactly. It's odd, very odd, to see this sort of scenario na parang nagkabaliktad ng posisyon. Adamson playing so loosely despite the fact that, they haven't really secured that 4th spot yet with 2 games remaining. Ito namang NU, despite having the twice-to-beat advantage already and being placed number 2 securely, parang hirap na hirap silang gumalaw. Tense, nabanggit na nga ni Agent Mabaya, then Pineda scores again. And ito, Adamson really pulling away here.
Minsan, nangyayari talaga yon na kapag ikaw yung may winning streak, mas lalong madami yung pressure sa'yo, mas lalong mabigat. Kasi you don't want to break that winning streak and you know that you have crucial games up ahead. So, they may have relaxed a bit during the start of the game and now they know not to take Adamson lightly.
They are shooting for win number 10. 9-game winning streak na sila. As a player, as a former player, Gretchen, how do you get over, like, if you're in a funk like this, you lost set number 1 by 10, and now you're down 13-8, how do you regroup as a team and get your confidence back in the set?
You just really have to wake everyone up. You have to say na, oh tara, gumising tayo. Set 1 is over. We have to take this set right now, not later on, right now. And we have to do it. We have to work hard for every point.
Does it get harder each and every point that you lose in the set?
Especially, it's hard, especially if you're not expecting to be down. And pag nangyayari yun sa'yo, kaya siguro sila ng mental block ngayon dahil na-frustrate sila, di na alam kung anong gagawin nila dahil they're down by 3 points. A while ago, Adamson had a big lead, so they're just in the process of regrouping. And as we've said earlier, during their first game, we saw NU winning the second set, even though Adamson won the first set.
Yeah.
So, tingnan natin kung makakabalik ang NU.
Well, not with the errors that they're putting on the floor. Jaja Santiago had a huge advantage here. Tinapik na lang yung bola, pero that length sometimes is a disadvantage. Pablo. That's it.
That was in.
Pablo playing consistent volleyball right now. And that's why she's getting a lot of minutes from Agent
They
Mabaya.
really need to spread the ball and find the hitter that has no blocker.
Good serve. But a great save mula kay Pineda. Unfortunately, yung third touch went wide. Sherman Meneses concerned about these errors mula sa Adamson to listen in.
Nandiyan ka sa loob eh. Papareceive ka sa iba. Sige, panindigan mo na yung receive mo. Parang problema kung hindi perfect yung receive eh. Masiset naman ang maayos yan eh. Ang mahirap, yung ayaw mo talaga receive. Diba? O, isang patay lang tayo. Back-quick ka. Anong supalo? O, si. First time ka, diba?
Coach Sherwin telling the girls to focus on the receive so that they can set up a good play against NU.
Well, they've given up at least 2 points. National University. Jaja coming off a 12-point performance. Great serving from her. Puts Adamson in a bit of a
And
bind.
that was too long for Bang Pineda. NU taking back the momentum.
Yeah. And Pineda showing us she is human after all, with a few errors here in set number 2. NU within 1.
Din is now in the front line.
Pineda off speed, picked up by Urdas. Here comes Pablo. Zapata, a little too late to the rescue.
Pablo just hitting it off the block.
And don't look now. We're tied at 14 all. Set number 2.
You know, it's really nice to see that the other players now are contributing to NU's offense. In set 1, we only saw bits of that, and it was more din-din in the first set.
That's true. The love is being spread out a little bit more by Ivy Perez. Pero Adamson finally breaking that spell. They take the lead back, 15-14. Good reception there by Aganon, leads to a kill by Dindin Santiago.
Now we see NU becoming more relaxed in the second set. Wala na yung frustration sa mukha nila. So, we're tied at 15 all.
Makatuno to Pineda. And Pineda strikes again. 16-15, Adamson leading by 1 over NU. Ryan Monteclaro of the Adamson Falcons. In
Very
attendance.
supportive.
Oh, kanina pa yan. Actually, first game, I saw him already hanging out here.
Imbitahin naman natin na manood yung viewers natin live.
Go ahead.
Siyempre, iba pa rin na pag nanood ka ng live,
Yeah.
you can feel the intensity of the game. And it's much more exciting. So, come over to San Juan Arena and catch a glimpse of the UAAP game.
Especially now, patapos na tayo, no? 2 more games sa eliminations and then either step ladder format if LaSalle doesn't lose, or a Final Four now, obviously, which is the most exciting, one of the most exciting parts of the season.
Crucial next games.
Yeah.
For all teams.
Zapata makes it a 2-point Adamson lead here, 17-15 off a check ball.
Pineda now in the back line.
Good serving, but better reception there from Agano. And
And
leading to a great
hit
hit.
it with that running shot.
But you gotta credit 1/3 of that point to Agano. Ang ganda ng reception, di na gumalaw si Perez actually.
Katulad ng sabi ni Coach Ezer, they need to focus on their defense. They need to start with a good reception so that they can have more attacks like that.
Ivy Perez serving 16-17. Makatuno sets it up. Guevara blocked by Agano and single lengthy block.
Guevara trying to hit that running shot. Unfortunately, it was defended well by NU.
Stone cold-faced assassin itong si Agano, no? I mean, no reaction whatsoever in her
No
face.
smiles.
No smile, oh. She just comes in, does her job, and does it well. 17 all. Makatuno this time to Zapata off the smaller blocker in Ordaz. I don't know how you see Ordaz as smaller, pero pagkatabi mo nga naman si Dindin Santiago, everyone is smaller.
And that has been working for Adamson. Kanina pa, they've been hitting their shots off the block and kailangan ipayong talaga ng NU yung block nila para di sila malusutan.
Dindin Santiago again working overtime here. And she has been, at least the last 3 points, siya ang umiscore para sa National University.
Adamson having a difficult time blocking the much taller Dindin Santiago.
Yeah, I think any team would really find it difficult to block. And how did you guys, try and control Dindin when you were playing? Give us a little insight.
We weren't the tall team, so we really had to focus on our floor defense. So kung kulang ka sa height, doon na lang sa baba, doon na lang saluhin. Pero yung gagawin mo dun, kapag matangkad yung blocker mo, kahit sanggain mo lang yung bola parang sobrang lakas.
So was that the tactic against tall players like sila Dindin?
Kukunin mo lang sa ilalim yung bola
para
tumaas.
Mabawasan lang yung palo.
Saka bumagal yung speed ng ball.
Little tip for you volleyball fans out there. High school, perhaps elementary.
Ganon with a cross-court hit.
Tit for tat here in the last few sequences. Palitan lang ng puntos. 19 all. Set number 2.
Crucial second set.
Zapanta. Urdas off the Zapanta block. Maui naman siya. Ayan, Zapanta.
They did the same to Adamson, hitting it off the block.
And now NU inches ahead by 1 point, 20-19.
Palitan lang tayo ng points itong set na to.
Zapanta in the middle. Makatuno back to Zapanta. Wow! And she lumawi ulit. Pinawian niya agad si Ordaz. Practically the same type of shot. 20 all.
Height doesn't matter for Zapanta.
You've got the power.
Obviously, going up against taller blockers. Going through that double block.
20 all. Not a good reception. You'll have to contend or be content with that third touch. Ito si Pineda picks up the block.
Good coverage for Adamson.
Pablo.
Oh, and finding that ball smartly. Dropping it behind the blockers of Adamson.
And this is the luxury you have if you're known as a strong hitter, is lahat ng tao talaga atras. And we'll leave that open spot.
Unexpected for Adamson. 21-20.
Pineda. Ooh, she went with the angled shot pero masyadong malakas.
Unnecessary error for Adamson at this point.
Yeah, NU leading by 2. Pakinggan natin ang Adamson.
Tina-target dyan.
Ito nga lang ipapanalo natin dyan eh. Wala depensa tayo. Dapat sabay-sabay gusto manalo, hindi lang yung isa. Diba? O, dalawa lang yan ha. Anong play mo? B3? O, B3 mo. Tapos 5-2. Lahat hingi ng bola, hindi lang yung isa. Ayun mo, may mga kamay naman kayo.
Well, obviously trying to stop the momentum of NU and also to throw in a few instructions and calm the girls down. Sherwin Meneses, let's see what happens here. Adamson down by 2 with Mayor Das serving for NU.
Good receive for Adamson.
Violation on NU. This has been a weakness of Jaja, most especially at the net. Maybe it was in Pablo.
Those errors are the things that really shift the momentum from one team to the other. And when you come to these points of the game, you really have to prevent having those errors.
But si Pablo bumawi, redeems herself after that error and scores a point, 23-21, as Santiago steps out for Valdez to serve. Adamson trying to avoid the repeat of the first meeting where they won first set, lost second set. And ito, wamanat si Pineda.
Pineda stepping up for the Adamson squad.
And it's almost a little bit predictable when Adamson really needs a point. They go to one girl and one girl only.
And the good thing about it is Pineda is in the front line.
Yeah. Paat, Maylene Paat serving. Good block by Perez after the over-receive by Aganon. The drop attempt by Pineda.
And costly error
by
for Adamson.
That was Guevara.
Tignan natin.
She tried to get it
Doubled.
again. And it hit her head.
Medyo nalito si Guevara. Kasi siguro inisip niya first touch yung
block.
block niya. Pero kasi wala na siya sa may net.
Exactly.
So that counted as a hit.
Well, Adamson saves one set point. But NU still has a couple more.
Smart off-speed shot by Pineda.
23 serving 24. Ooh, wow. Costly error on the part of Pineda. She's been playing pretty well. And I wasn't expecting that at all, a service error, no?
Very crucial yun. Lalo na when you're in the 24-23 part of the game, you have to just make a sure serve.
Yeah. So, a la the first meeting between these two teams, Adamson wins set number 1, but NU takes back set number 2, 25-23. We are one set apiece in our second game today between National University and Adamson, 25-15 and 23-25 after NU comes back in set number 2 to take it away from Adamson.
NU playing at a much higher level in that set, and several attackers stepping up for NU, including Pablo, Aganon, Urdas, and of course Dindin Santiago. On the other hand, Adamson committing a lot of costly errors at the end of the set to cost them that second set. So as we've said earlier, tingnan natin, in their past game, Adamson won the first set, NU won the second set, and that's what's happening in today's game. So it's always an exciting match between these two teams. And there you go, Dindin Santiago with her running hits, making an exclamation point for NU.
She's been doing majority of the workload. Nabanggit mo, pumunto sila Urdas, Pablo, Aganon. But yun nga, NU still relying heavily
on Dindin Santiago.
That's right. Para naman sa Adamson, it was a more complete contribution from most of the Lady Falcons. Pero yun nga nabanggit mo, Gretchen, unforced errors really hurt Adamson towards the end, most especially.
Take a look at the numbers. It's the same in terms of attacks, 13 all. In terms of blocks, konti lang lamang ng Adamson. And what really affected this game was the errors, again, of Adamson. So it was a close game. Both teams were scoring 1 point at a time. Palitan, we had exchanges, good exchanges there. But at the end of the set, yung errors talaga makes a big difference.
In the first set, NU was +4 in errors. In the second set, ganun din. Para naman sa Adamson, they were +4. As NU starts off with a service error in set number 3. 1, serving nothing.
Those errors really making a big difference in the game.
And Pineda picking up where she left off.
Alam mo, pag ganyang errors, yung coaching staff, they really keep a record of all the errors. And they tell you after the game, oh, ikaw, you committed these much errors. And that's what they do. Para sa next practice mo, you try to focus on those aspects and lessen the errors.
Do they tell you kung saang error ka prone?
Yeah, in terms of,
like
for example, service errors, or in terms of spiking, kapag laging net yung bola mo, or kapag sa blocking, hindi mo napapasok yung kamay mo.
Yeah.
So, those things really matter, especially when you have a very, very close game. Those things make a big difference.
Oh, I mean, perfect example na lang. Yung last point in the second set with Pineda serving long and giving the set away to National University. Now, sa mga bagay na ganyan, what goes through the mind of the players? I mean, you're just 1 year removed from your playing years, Gretchen. You know, what goes through your mind when you're serving, and why? How do you calm yourself down to make sure na hindi to malakas o hindi naman to sasabit sa net?
During the crucial moments of the game, you just really have to relax, focus on the ball, focus on the game, and you can't, hindi mo pwedeng isipin na, hala, baka magkamali ako. Dahil pag inisip mo yon, mas lalong mangyayari yon. So, just focus on the game, just focus on your serve, and just focus on getting the point. So, those errors are costly because it really affects the morale of the player coming into the game. Pag madami kang error sa game, minsan nakaka-down yun, nakaka-frustrate yun. So, what you want to do is really minimize your errors. And it's really, masakit yun eh. Masakit na matalo ka sa error lang. Parang pinamigay mo lang yung laro.
Yung laro, ano? Well, right now, yung floor defense, that vaunted floor defense of Adamson is showing some cracks here. Ayun, butas na butas in between two players. 4-1 NU. Let's check in with Mitch Del Carmen.
Eric and Gretch, nakausap ko nga itong si Coach Sherwin kanina at natutuwa raw siyang makita na mukhang desidido ang Adamson na manalo sa huli nilang mga games. Pero para sa game nila ngayon, hinahabol niya ang kanyang team na pag-isipan pa nila ang kanilang mga galaw. Hindi daw sila pwedeng manalo na hindi inuutakan ang kanilang kalaban. Hindi na baling mablock daw sila basta't hindi daw sila magbibigay ng walang kwentang mga errors. Now, regardless of the team's strong defense, Coach Sherwin is not contented with this. He wants them to have better communication in the court and to cover every ball. Dagdagan ni Coach Sherwin, huwag nating papakaulan ang advantage na ito. Eric and Gretch.
Thank you, Mitch. 6-1 NU. Let's listen to the huddle of Meneses.
Magsalita dyan. Manalo eh. Paano babawi? Ayaw nyo nang gumalaw eh. May first ball naman. Diba? May first ball naman, di ba? Ano gagawin na spiker? O, magagawa ng play.
obviously frustrated. See Sherman Meneses because of, well, that's one of those things that is really bothering him right now. Betadine block of the set by Santiago and Urdas. 7.5% feminine wash for Red Days. It's better to be protected.
Meneses telling the girls, gumalaw naman kayo sa court. And we see that Adamson is a little bit more loose in this set. Medyo hindi sila kasing solid kanina nung first set. That they were really defending all the shots. Walang makalusot sa NU na palo. But right now, we see NU adjusting to the defense of Adamson and trying to outsmart the Lady Falcons.
Set too low para kay Jaja Santiago. That's an error on the part of NU. Mabalikan natin yung report din ni Mitch, no? Nabanggit niya na sabi ni Meneses, hindi tayo mananalo sa NU kung di natin sila uutakan because obviously much more physically gifted ang NU compared to Adamson. So they really have to resort to tactics and better playmaking if they are to win, as you see NU commit 2 consecutive errors, giving 2 straight points, 2 easy points to Adamson.
You're right, they're a much taller team. So for you to make points, you really have to do a lot of plays and make quick plays para maunahan mo yung blockers ng NU.
They were trying to do that with Jaja. Nagkamali sila dalawang beses, so they go the other way to Mina Aganon,
who hits it cross-court.
A wishy, oh wow moment of the game. Open up to everyday surprises, fooling the defense of Adamson entirely.
Aganon only had 1 blocker in that play.
Zapanta is picked up. Alcuino is on the floor for the first time in this game. Erica Alcuino. Good timing, but better defense at the net. Ooh, that was out. Kinuha pa ni Urdas. Swerte doon ang Adamson. Let's see if they can get one here. Yes, they do.
Zapanta again hitting it off the block. Adamson to cut this lead, we need to see more of those.
But it's a 4-1 run by Adamson so far after the timeout called by Sherwin Meneses. 5 serving 7. Wow.
And that was a strong hit by Jaja Santiago, finally connecting with Perez.
Nakuha nila yung timing right now, and that's why they're enjoying a 3-point advantage. 8-5 here in set number 3. Here's our Gatorade fueled spike of the game from Gatorade, win from within. Medyo off pa yung timing ni Jaja with Ivy Perez in most of the quicks, pero when she does get it, it's marvelous to look at.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
Baon na baon yung talo.
Almost irrecoverable. That's why NU is up 8-5, set number 3. Both teams at 1 set apiece.
Momentum shifting now to NU.
Zapanta blocked. And it seems like itong Adamson now, they are getting more predictable, or at least tumitibay din yung depensa ng NU.
Tumitibay yung depensa ng NU. Their blocking is getting better. And actually, Adamson having a hard time defending against their attacks. They're not blocking as well as the past sets. And minsan naiiwan nila ng isang blocker lang yung NU. And that's because they're doing more plays right now, giving it to the middle, to the open, to the utility spiker. So, nahihirapan yung Adamson na basahin.
Maybe you just saw earlier, block of the set from Betadine, 7.5% feminine wash for Red Days. It's better to be protected. Si Ornacion on the Zapanta hit. Let's check in with Trisha Robredo.
Eric and Gretchen, nakwento nga sa akin ng Diyos. Ganito raw talaga ang bakbakan ng NU at Adamson sa loob ng court. They actually expected this level of intensity at baka ang mindset pa raw na ito ang naka-apekto sa sloppy performance nila noong unang set. But Coach Edget is actually happy that the girls have found their rhythm in the second set and he asks them to just stick with it. Pero napansin nga ni Coach na kulang pa rin sa focus ang Lady Bulldogs. Captain Deden Santiago even agreed with him and she told her teammates na isa-isa lang. Kung kailangan mag-block, depensa muna bago isipin ang isasagot na offensive play. One step at a time tayo, girls. Konting tiyaga pa at kaya natin to. Back to you, Gretchen and Eric.
Well, thank you, Trisha. They are playing much more relaxed now. May ngiting nakikita ka na, no? Kila Dindin, Coach Edget, but Pineda seems to be getting back her rhythm after a little bit of inconsistency in the second set.
And as we've said, this is a good game for NU because they need these kinds of games toughen up mentally going on to their Feb 15 game against LaSalle.
The only team that beat them, De La Salle University. Siyempre, naghahanap sila ng bawi doon. Here's Pineda again. This time picked up by General. Great defense
Better
by
floor defense for NU.
Pineda. Ooh, she
Too
went
long.
in between the block. He's asking for a check.
Pineda.
Pero wala, none given.
Again, an error for Adamson.
Let's take a look if there was a graze man lang. Tough to
Hard
tell,
to tell.
From our angle. Oh, good dig by Cortel. Pineda. Nakaabang na yung depensa. Ooh, wow! Great set by Perez and a beautiful kill mula kay Dintin Santiago.
Perez seeing that the defense of Adamson was unprepared for that quick hit. Just one blocker for Dintin Santiago.
Pineda. Adamson getting a little bit more predictable.
Pineda trying to find a hole. But the NU's defense was really solid during that play.
And ito naman si Agano, no? Off speed na lang, hindi pa nakuha. So a little bit of a breakdown on the defense of Adamson here in set number 3. And that's why NU is in control, 13-7. One-handed set.
Adamson having a hard time scoring a point against NU.
Better dig by Zapanta. Underhand set para kay Pineda. Cut shot. Oh, great dig by Tempiatura ng Adamson. That's off the net mula kay Aganon. Pineda. Wide. And Pineda seems to be getting tired a little bit. Breathing hard.
He's trying to look for the hole, but again, NU's defense was just there.
Well, Amanda Villanueva checking in for the first time in this game, and she was a starter before napaltan siya ni Cortella. No? And why do you think that is, that kind of adjustment, Gretchen?
I talked to Coach earlier about Villanueva, and he said that Villanueva has been quite inconsistent the past games. Kaya pinasok muna niya si Cortel, and they also need Cortel for defense at the net. So alam naman natin na medyo mas maliit si Amanda Villanueva. So a defensive receiver going in the game, and that's definitely gonna be a boost for Adamson.
She, in terms of offense, she has no shortage of talent and power. As you take a look at what power is all about coming from the hands of Pineda. Great play from Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Expect more from the small sedan.
Pineda coming alive in that last play.
Pineda again, blocked this time.
Nababasa na ng NU yung mga tira ni Pineda.
Aganon, off speed. Nobody expected that from Adamson.
Everybody was at the back of the court expecting a powerful hit.
Great play from the veteran Mina Aganon. 16-8 NU over Adamson, set number 3. Back here at the arena in San Juan for the second game of today's Sunday doubleheader.
The legendary Jen Reyes watching NU, of course, supporting her squad.
How tough was her as a libero when
Nako.
Ateneo went up against her?
One of the toughest liberos to go up against, and he would just get every ball. Kahit i-target mo yung bola sa ibang teammate niya, kukunin pa rin niya. Sa kanya talaga lahat ng service. Ganun siya kasipag.
And that is why, you know, so many fans from NU especially love her. Oh, great quick Alcuino from Bacatuno, pero picked up better defense by NU. All out of position si Aganon that time.
Aganon.
She was under the ball as medyo nagkagulo yung reception. But still a big lead here for NU. The biggest so far the entire match para sa Lady Bulldogs.
Villanueva going now up front. Let's see if she can contribute to the offense of Adamson.
Ooh, Aganon straight to the net that time.
2 straight errors from Adamson, from NU rather.
That's why medyo nabubuhayan dito ang Lady Falcons, but they are still a long way away trailing by 6. Strong serving mula kay Pineda, and kill there from Dindin Santiago again.
Dindin unstoppable in the middle.
And especially, you can tell when NU gets a good reception, you can almost expect Dindin to be involved in the play one way or another.
She just needs a set, and she's there to kill the ball.
Strong serving mula kay Santiago Villanueva. Skies high, and slam dunks that one home.
And there you go, Villanueva stepping up for Adamson.
Coming off the bench.
Much needed.
Yeah.
Much needed point for Adamson.
She was on top of that ball. And Dindin was about a second and a half late. Such pace on the ball mula kay Villanueva. Oh, great dig by Tempi Tura.
Nice attempt. Maganon. But
And a
that
great
was
point.
in.
Oh, mula kay Cortel. Great play. Despite the confusion, tingnan mo yung pagka-dig ni Tempi Tura. Despite what seems to be chaotic, nakakuha pa sila ng good play and placed it very well. There's Jaja with a dump though.
But in that last play, Jaja finding the hole in the middle. Zone 0, as we call it.
Oh, so that's what it is, yung donut.
Zone 0.
Zone 0. All right.
So pag sinabing target mo sa zone 0, doon lang sa gitna.
Villanueva off to the other side. Perez, back set. Oh, that's off the tape of the net. That's 4 touches from Urdas.
Again, the errors of NU being very costly for them. Good thing they have a big lead right now.
But not for long if they keep this up, Gretchen.
We see the momentum shifting back to Adamson. So, kung gusto manalo ng NU, they have to take it right now.
Perez to Pablo, who is blocked. Pablo trying to keep it alive. Great play by that two-lady block of Cortel and Paat.
Good run for Adamson.
Yeah, they're within 4.
NU maybe relaxing a little bit with that big lead.
Consistent serving. Now Adamson paying off. Great dig by Alcuino. Oh, wow! Amazing play, Alcuino. That was over-received, but very well placed. Inadvertently, but yet, you know.
Unexpected for NU.
It's nice to be good, but it's better to be lucky. Take a look here. Wow. May timeout. Pakinggan natin ang NU.
Para pag-cover o bumalik mo ng bola, may tao tayo sa likod. Ha?
Nagre-relax kayo. Isipin nyo na kailan ng agwat eh. Malakas na palo. Patay na.
Tsaka tsumempo ka.
O, sa maganda.
Tara.
Coach Edzet trying to tell his girls to focus on the game. Nasa sense niya na medyo nagre-relax na yung NU.
Well, what was once, if I'm not mistaken, a 6-point advantage, now cut in half.
Oh.
I just said consistent serving from one thing kanina.
Well, that timeout really worked for NU, forcing that error from Adamson.
Lead back to 4 for National University. Urdas is probably the only player I can remember serves right at the line, no? Most of you guys are in the way in the back.
Pero mahirap din receive this use kasi you don't expect the service to go that near the net. And it depends actually if it's like by the attack line, that's easier to receive. If it's before the attack line, that's a little bit harder.
Villanueva. Good save by Amanda Villanueva. Here's Cortel. Blocked. And a point for National University. Natawag naman ng timeout si Coach Meneses ng Adamson as itong NU got up to 2 straight points. Let's listen in.
Para tayo makapag-combination, chance mo yung service. Sa gitna pupunta yung bola, mag-play ka.
Loya ka.
Diba? Hindi mo kayang kunin, Sam.
Kaya.
O ilang beses na yun eh. Diba? Pwede nga kayo magkagawan dun eh, para ikaw na mag-receive eh. Pupunta ka sa gitna eh.
Kaya check out yung receive.
This is the first time I've ever seen Sherwin Menezes so vocal in the huddle.
And get mad.
And get mad, actually.
He's usually very
Calm. Oh, and
quiet.
Quiet. Ano, konti lang. If he has to say a few words. Pero ngayon, medyo marami-rami siya nasabi. Ano? That goes to show you kung gaano ka-importante itong game na to for Adamson. That's safe. Free ball.
Nice receive.
Cortel. Bumuelo. That may have been out. Kinuha pa rin ni Dindin.
Trying to
Joust.
find a hole.
Won by NU.
Just dropping that to Villanueva. And that was too strong for Pineda.
Dindin coming from all the way back for that great kill. 22-15.
A little bit of over-receive for Adamson. Yun yung sinasabi ni Coach Sherwin Menezes na kailangan ayusin mo na yung receive nila para makapag-play sila ng maayos.
That's not been happening. At least in the last few sequences, Galanza will check in. Para sa Adamson. 23-15 now. Autopilot na itong NU right now.
Villanueva making a very crucial point for Adamson.
But they're very deep here under a huge deficit.
But Pineda is up in front, and let's see if they can do today what they did against FEU, coming from behind.
Not if they give away points like that. Set point na para sa NU right now, 24-16.
You know, it's so sad that they do those great runs, but then they cut it off with an error, and it just shifts the momentum back.
Pineda, off speed. Looking for that zone zero. Napagit na ni Gretchen kanina. Paat. Blocked.
Great
by
block
Perez.
from NU. Medyo nagkagulo sila doon.
Free ball. Adamson. Let's see what they can do here. Pineda.
Pineda trying to find a hole.
Oh, what a
Still.
block there by Paat on Pablo. Saving the first of many set points.
And that's what they need. They need to have stronger net defense to counter the strong attacks of NU. So that's what has been lacking from Adamson. Yung nawala yung blocking nila sa set na to.
Well, they were pretty prolific in terms of blocking in set number 1 as Dindin medyo nanggigil masyado doon.
Again, let's see if they can come from behind.
Well, 2 set points saved by Adamson. There's still 6 more they have to overhaul. Dindin. Still long.
Too long.
Wow. And even she is wondering, ano nangyayari? 3 set points saved by Adamson. Not by their own accord, but when you save it, you save it. Perez.
Oh,
Great kick.
smart.
It's
And
still
again.
long from Dindin Santiago. She can't believe what's going on right now. 4 straight points they threw away, and 4 set points saved by the defense of Adamson. May timeout on the floor. Let's listen to Coach Menezes.
Tubig.
Tulad niya, no? Oh, dinarap ball, kanina dapat yun. Oh, di ba? Okay yun, effort. Kaso dapat alam yung ginagawa mo. Pagka hindi nyo alam ginagawa nyo, isabihin nyo sa akin.
Lapit pa dyan, ha?
Coach Sherwin Meneses trying to organize the defense of Adamson. Nakita nila, nagulat yung depensa ng Adamson dun sa hulog ni Perez. So, tinatanong niya, sino kukuha nun? So that they would be more ready for situations like those.
Against any other team, yung hulog na yun would have been a sure point. Wala kay Perez. But you're going up against this ultra defensive-minded Adamson
And they're
team.
ready for
Exactly.
shots like those.
Pineda blocked Santiago earlier, but Pablo cannot be denied. And NU finally takes away set number 3 from Adamson. And they now lead 2-1 against the Lady Falcons. National University Lady Bulldogs lead by 2-1 against Adamson, and sort of scripted in a way, no? Parang if you compare to the first meeting between these two teams in the first round of the eliminations, nanalo ang Adamson set number 1 and NU 2-3 and 4 in the first meeting. Pero ngayon, it still ways to be seen kung matatapos nga nila in 4 sets. Pretty much the same as how it went in the first round. Take a look at some of the highlights of set number 3.
NU performing much better in set number 3 and actually gaining a very big lead against Adamson. Adamson trying to cut that lead with the errors of NU, but unfortunately they were unable to sustain that until the end of the set. Enough for NU to get set number 3.
Yung opensa ng Adamson got a little bit more predictable. They went more than a few times kay Pineda, and nabasa na rin ng depensa finally. And tumibay din yung binabanggit kanina pa ni Edget Mabait, natigasan nyo yung mga braso nyo, especially sa blocking. They were able to display that in set number 3.
Adamson tried to adjust in terms of offense. They brought in Villanueva to score some points, and they were able to get through the blockers of NU. However, the plays of NU was just too much for Adamson to handle. They were still able to go through the defense. And if we take a look at the numbers, we see 13 attacks for NU. Again, their plays working for them. They're distributing the ball all around. When it comes to blocks, same lang naman, 3-2. Service aces, 1 for NU. And errors, mas marami pa yung NU kesa sa Adamson. Pero yung plays talaga ng NU, very unstoppable.
And that's going to be the dilemma para sa Adamson ngayon, is how do they stop, especially Dindin Santiago. No? I mean, all the rest, you can at least be able to minimize the damage you're going to sustain from the likes of Aganon, Urdas, Pablo. Pero Dindin is mostly the big trouble, especially when she goes up kahit sa back row. No?
And as I mentioned earlier, Adamson really becoming a bit more loose in that third set. Medyo nawala yung depensa nila. And we saw them in set number 1 being very tough in terms of floor defense, in terms of blocking. But we didn't see blocking in the third set. And their defense was a little bit more scrambled, mas magulo, and they even had problems with their reception. So they really have to work on defense. Again, yun naman yung practice nila. For this game, they have to toughen up on their defense dahil ang NU maraming place yan, matangkad yan. It's hard to stop them, it's hard to guard them, but if you stop them at the net, and if you tinapatan mo sila in terms of defense, makakatapat naman sila pagdating sa opensa.
Let's see if that defense steps up big time. Their backs are against the wall, speaking of the Adamson Lady Falcons.
NU able to save that ball.
Blocked by Aganon, single lady block. Here comes
Blocking.
Zapata.
NU, one of our top blocking teams.
They're starting off better defensively. Itong Adamson here. Aganon. Tempiatura that goes off a tangent na hindi na nahabol ni Bacatuno.
Again, the floor defense of Adamson is scrambling. They're having a hard time defending the attacks of NU.
2-all set number 4.
Serving captain Dindin Santiago.
Cortel. Medyo nagkalituhan. Aganon, Pablo, who was gonna get it. Cortel getting a little bit lucky there. Rarely do you see that kind of error with a team very experienced like National University.
And it's been long since we've seen her score in this game. So it's nice to see that they're stepping up again for Adamson.
Cortel blocked by Aganon. Pretty steady at the net. Itong si Mina Aganon, that's Zapata going wide.
Zapata rin has been silent for the past set.
Actually, you know, the big two, Zapata, Pineda, medyo bumaba yung level ng kanilang output, ano? Sa set number 2 and 3.
And I think it's because of their defense. Hindi sila makapag-receive ng maayos, makapag-defend ng maayos. So, hindi rin makaset si Makapuno sa kanila.
And most of their attempts are coming back. Maganda depensa sa net with Jaja right there. 2 straight blocks. Good rally. Cortel. That was over-received by Pablo.
Oh, miscommunication.
Everybody's okay. Nadapa ng konti dun si Aggie Perez.
Another drop for Paat.
Long rally won by National University.
Ordas going through the blocks. Medyo nahuli si Paat sa block na yon.
Let's go to Tricia Robredo.
Eric and Gretchen, while Coach Edget was careful not to take away the credit from the Lady Falcons, sinabihan niya ang Lady Bulldogs na tayo lang naman ang nagbibigay ng momentum sa kanila. He expressed frustration over the girls' errors in the second set and he wants them minimized. Sinabihan niya rin sila na kung magkamali, bumawi agad. Walang magagawang pag-sorry niya sa bench kung wala kayong papakita sa court. Coach also commented on their coverage. Masyado raw silang nagkukumpulan kaya napaparami ang pugas. Communicate more at pag mag-spike, cover kayo, huwag mag-assume na patay na agad. Improve on your defense to execute better quality plays in the fourth set. That's all for now, Eric and Gretchen.
Thank you, Trisha.
Defense playing a big factor in today's game.
A weird sequence of events there.
Jaja using her height.
A wishy-oh-wow moment of the game opened up to everyday surprises. This was the last part of the sequence.
Just laughing. Finding the hole.
Cortel down the line, but Dindin was there.
Great dig from Dindin.
Pablo, long.
That was too long.
And nabanggit natin with Pablo, no? She has tendency to sometimes commit these unforced errors.
Minsan napapalakas yung palo niya.
5-all, set number 4. Let's go to Mitch Del Carmen.
Hindi pwedeng una o gitna lang ang kanilang panalo. Eric and Gretchen, umaasa nga si Coach Sherwin na lumaban ang Lady Falcons hanggang sa dulo. And in terms of their errors, Coach Sherwin wants his girls to move on dahil nagiging kalaban nga daw nila ang kanilang mga errors. Ang mali daw ng iba ay pwedeng matama ng teammates. Basta magkaroon lang daw sila ng teamwork. Lastly, Coach Sherwin only had one question to ask for his team in the huddle earlier. That is, how will they win? Coach Sherwin responded to his own query by telling them to make every easy opportunity a point for Adamson. Eric and Rich.
Thank you, Mitch. Well, Coach Sherwin is now resorting to throwing out rhetorical questions just to motivate the team.
Medyo nag-iba yung complexion ng game. Makita natin yung Adamson. They're not as energized as in set 1 when we saw them really fighting for every point.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like they were 2 times more active in the first set compared to the last 2.
And as we've said, there's a big impact if you have a lot of errors. It really affects the mental aspect of the game.
But also, let's not take anything away from National University. They have shown, Edget Mabayad has taught these girls to be able to control their emotions kahit na medyo things are against them, to be able to turn things around 180 degrees and play as we practiced, as we've done over and over again at the gym.
And now Adamson is the one struggling. And we're seeing a more confident and a more loose, a more relaxed National University.
And that is exactly exemplified by that kill ni Myla Pablo.
No blockers there for Myla Pablo.
Going for the cut shot there, si Pineda. Here comes Aganon. Makatuno to Guevara. Good defense by both teams. But better at the net. Si Guevara that time on Dindin Santiago returned to sender yung palo niya. And Adamson leads by 1, 8-7 here in set number 4. Block of the set from Betadine, 7.5% feminine wash for Red Days. It's better to be protected. It's not easy to time it properly, especially against a Dindin Santiago.
And Pineda actually rejoicing after that block.
Oh yeah, anybody would be happy just to have the chance to block Dindin Santiago and be successful.
Course. The much smaller Pineda.
Did you ever, in your years playing, Gretchen, did you ever log it like nakaganto akong blocks kay Dindin, marami-rami?
Medyo, pero ang sarap na feeling talaga every time you get to block someone taller.
Taller, no?
Just you want to rejoice and feel the block, feel the point.
Net violation against Dindin, it seems. And you down by 2 now. Kita, I don't think it was Dindin though. It was on Perez.
And you having several net violations in this game.
Better receiving by Tempiatura. Also by General of NU. Libero's doing a good job. Aganon getting lucky.
That was off the net.
How frustrated do you get when you end up losing a point to plays like that?
Siyempre nakakainis yun dahil it's unexpected and you don't know who's gonna get the ball. So you end up just looking at your teammates.
NU within 1, 8 serving 9. Wow, may konting sigaw pa doon si Samantha. And that was a little long.
Angela Binting of Adamson and Sang Lagiles. Siyempre the legends of Adamson. Watching today's game.
9-all. Zapata. She's been trying hard. I mean, nobody can say she's not putting 100%. I mean, dinig natin from where we're sitting, and she's on the other side.
Zapata, of course, one of the more reliable spikers for Adamson. They need her. They need her in this set, definitely.
Dindin. That's not coming back.
Dindin going the other way, hitting from the utility spot.
And she seems to be wincing after that hit. And I saw they were icing her knees in between sets 3 and 4. And also was getting stretched out. And medyo she's wincing. I don't know if there's something wrong. She's cramping up or anything. Let's hope she's okay.
You know what's good about this NU squad is that they're really trying to vary their shot. And that's why Adamson is having a hard time reading where the ball is gonna go. So Dindin has been hitting from all over the court. If you notice, she's been hitting from the middle. She's been hitting short running shots. She's been hitting long running shots. She's been hitting from the utility. So that's what's making it hard for Adamson. Usually, nahirapan sila mag-block, nahuhuli sila. Kaya that's what's working for NU.
And not to mention also, mapalo din si Urdas, si Aganon, and si Jaja. Pero Portel getting that open spot in the middle. 11 all, set number 4. Oh, nice job.
Dropping that off.
Urdas brushing it off the hands of Portel.
Smart move by Urdas.
Well, wait a minute, I think the point was awarded to Adamson, and now the first referee speaking to Dindin Santiago.
They were contesting.
It did seem from our angle na galing sa kamay ni Cortel na brush off ni Urdas, pero obviously the first and second referees are much closer to the action. Let's take a look here.
Oh, I think that was a check ball.
Yeah, it does seem like tumama nga kay Cortel, no? But lucky for Adamson, they get the point. Good dig by Perez. Ooh, but Urdas unable to control her momentum.
Good effort though on Ordas.
Now, Ejet Mabayad, as you see the last sequence, Ejet Mabayad is telling Dindin to speak to the first referee about something else. I don't know if it's about this play, but Ejet Mabayad is off his feet.
Arguing a bit with the referee. I think he's contesting that crossing violation.
Okay.
It's a dead ball.
Okay, so they're going to replay the point?
Yes.
All right. So it's back to 12-11. The point na kaninang inaward taken away. Yung nalaglag si Ordas in the middle, they'll play it all over again.
I think Ordas didn't really cross the line, but she went over, but her
Yes.
knees were beyond the line.
Yeah.
For you to have a crossing, kailangan yung tuhod mo talagang lumagpas dun sa line.
Well, good job by our officials. Good job by them to sort it out. 12 all.
And the play wasn't there. So they're gonna call a crossing if it affects the play, the actual play.
Jaja waves off everyone and takes care of the third touch. Paat too strong. Asking for a check. Wala. Sherwin Menezes looking on. His team down by 1 now.
You know, we
13-12.
haven't seen too much middle hits from Adamson in today's game.
That's true. Yeah, Paat
They
hasn't been
mostly
as
go
active.
to their open hitters or their utility hitters.
But it's been working, pero yun nga, a little on and off, especially in the last 2 sets. 13 all after that Cortel point. They're very good at this, no? Pineda, Cortel, Zapanta, hanapin yung gitna ng dalawang blockers, ano?
Kanina pa nila ginagawa yun.
Nice anticipation at the net by Paat.
Paat, a very promising
Yeah.
rookie for Adamson.
Adamson up
Zapanta.
by 1.
Zapanta on her last year.
Oh, another great anticipation by Paat. Right over the top of the taller Jaja Santiago too. And meron pa siyang nabanggit na konting words pagbaba. Take a look.
Oh,
As the
Paat rejoicing.
as the player who lost the point, you just look away, no? Obviously, you just look away. You don't want to hear anything.
Na syempre, babawi ka sa next point. Medyo nauuso na yung gano'n eh, na yung ano, after a point, you look down on the opponent.
Have you ever done it? Of course you did.
Yes, of course. A little.
Right? Do you do that all the time? No.
Not all the time.
Do you choose kung sino yung mga titingnan mo pag na-block?
Siyempre kapag ano, kapag minsan kapag na-block mo, yung mahirap i-block, so siyempre sobrang saya mo and you can't contain it. You have to let it out.
The board. No, I mean, you can't do too much because obviously the first referee is gonna call your attention, right?
Or siyempre, iwas natin na may yellow card.
Triple block there on Pineda. 15 all. Two just isn't enough para kay Sheila Pineda, and she punishes NU there, puts Adamson up by 1. Great play here from Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Expect more from the small sedan.
And we've been missing that from Pineda for the past few points.
She was very active in the first set, pero yun nga, last 2 sets medyo bumaba yung level ng kanyang intensity. Happy birthday to Direct Elmon Salvajan of ABS-CBN Sports. To everyone else celebrating the birthday, thanks for spending it with us. And you're getting treated to a spectacular volleyball game between
Great game today.
NU
Very
and
close.
Adamson. Very close. Pablo clips the line. 16 all.
the high leaping Myla Pablo. You know, it's so hard to defend long shots like those because it goes over the defender. So yun yung mga tira na akala mo out na.
Out na, oo.
Pero pumasok.
So, obviously, you know, when it bounces further away from you. Kaya ang hirap-hirap ibalik.
One of the players that I know that is very good with those shots is Judy Cabalejo.
Wow, okay.
She
Targeting
hits
talaga.
long. Nahirapan kami sanggain yung tira niya. So what we usually do, we try to check her ball so that it flies high.
Higher, oo.
Yes.
Makukuha niyo pa. Pablo again. Ayun, na-check ng konti. Humina yung palo. Here comes Pineda. Off speed. Oh, great play. Coming off a hard hit.
Very, very smart play from Pineda with that off-speed shot.
And Gretchen, don't look now. Nabanggit mo kanina na hindi siya ganun ka-active. And right now, she's coming alive here in set number 4, giving Adamson a 2-point lead.
Pablo wasn't expecting that shot from Pineda, but did it.
Wow.
Slamming it home.
It's just too much. The height, the explosiveness, the athleticism. Take a look at how high she was
Again,
over the blockers.
We see her with her game face.
Yeah. Well, obviously, her team's down by 2 kanina. Kaya and we're towards the latter part of the set. Kailangan niya na talagang kumayod.
Adamson still leading by 1.
Over-received. Big mistake with Dindin in the middle.
Dindin just wanting to finish the game in this set.
Wala nang ngiti-ngiti, ano? Usually smiles after every point, pero not that time.
And she was left unguarded also in that play.
18 all. Here comes Agano. Oh, nagkahiyaan si Cortel and Zapanta. 3 straight points for NU. Tatawag ng timeout ang Adamson. Let's listen in.
Isa lang. Please mo naman konti yung block mo. Diba? Hindi mo na-check mo nga, nakaganyan ka naman. Ipasok mo na konti yung kamay mo. Isang receive lang tayo. Anong gusto palo? See? O running. Ano, running? Okay, running ha. Okay, pag may receive tayo, papalo si Paige at si Bebang. Cover tayo ha. Cover.
Well, they want Pineda. That was the game plan. They wanted a C for her. Let's see if that materializes.
Adamson having quite a difficult time with their defense. In that last play, nobody attempted to get the ball. So seldom do we see that with the Lady Falcons.
For sure. That's what Pineda wanted. She gets the positive outcome.
Do we see a repeat of that FEU game? Unfortunately, she's now in the back line. But Zapanta taking over.
19 all. Ooh, but Dindin, again, really, she's taken over here. It's the Dindin Santiago show right now, 2019. I mean,
Dindin wanting to finish the set
almost
and
helpless.
finish the game.
Yeah, almost helpless. See Zapanta right there. You can see the terror in her face.
Smaller front line now for Adamson. Makatuno is in the front line.
Zapanta. Oh, nice placement. Just beyond the reach of Valdez and General.
All.
Can't get
What
any
a
closer.
crucial set, especially for Adamson.
Urdas. Beautiful play. I don't know if that was by design, but nevertheless they get the point. Take a look. She had to hurry. Medyo may buwelo siya, and she had to hurry when she saw the ball was coming down quickly.
But putting that in the corner.
NU by 1, 21-20. Here comes the strong serve by Santiago. Good coverage behind.
Great blocking from
attackers.
NU.
Ordaz hits the net. That's an automatic violation.
Net violation by Aiko Urdan.
Wow, we're going down the wire
These are
here.
the errors that you don't want to see in these moments of the game. Again, a net violation for NU. Sayang, pasok na kasi yung tira niya. Na net lang talaga siya.
That was a sure point. 21 all.
Adamson has a chance to take the set.
Jaja, perfect timing again.
They're having a very difficult time blocking the tall middles of NU.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's almost impossible, especially if Jaja Santiago gets the perfect set for her.
Medyo nalilito na yung blockers ng Adamson. Hindi na nila alam kung sino yung babantayan nila.
Adamson trailing by 1. Cortel. Good dig by Perez. Underhand set by General. Pablo off speed. Blocked. No, that's 4 touches.
That was a net ball for Pablo.
Nail-biting finish here in set number 4. Adamson in a must-win situation for NU. This is the closeout.
If they win the set, it's gonna be definitely going to be a big boost in their morale and confidence.
Wow, excellent blocking at the net by Adamson. Taking them
Stepping up.
up by 1, 23-22. Timeout ni Edget Mabayad. Puntahan natin ang NU.
Nilalagay mo sa kamay ng blocker. Wala pang nagulog na nilagay sa kamay ng blocker. Kasi babalik lang sa'yo ng ganun na yan.
Ito, play natin.
Wala na maganda receive. Ito ang play natin.
Receive tayo, ha? Patumbay mo si Jaja.
Oh,
Ihaba mo. Tumba. Isin mo lang si Myla. Bigyan mo kay ano sa likod.
Dali mo yung blocker. Dali mo dito yung blocker. Para yung kabila natin.
Well, Edget Mabayad obviously concerned. Adamson is leading by 1.
He's telling the girls to cover. Kasi the blocking of Adamson is getting stronger and nobody is receiving the block balls of Adamson.
That's what happened the last play.
And I think he's instructing Jaja to do a play. Tumba is what you call it. It
Let's
could
see.
be a B.
Oh, they went to Ordaz with a point, 23 all. Trading kills. Adamson NU set number 4. Adamson, though, is down by 1 set to 2.
Pineda is in the front line again. And they go to Pineda.
Pineda the push. Pablo coming in. Long.
Oh, that was that a check ball?
They're
Oh, I
asking
think
for it.
They're calling it out.
It was called out, but
They're calling it
Agent,
out, I
yeah.
think.
Agent Mabayad is asking for a check, pero wala. Ito, set point, Adamson.
Crucial call.
Now, Dinkin's arguing with the first referee for a check. I don't know if we can get another look, another good look at it. First, second referee agree. It's a point for Adamson. It's set point
And they're calling it
24-23.
out. Definitely a crucial call right there.
Adamson on offense. Pablo.
Going to the open hitter.
Wow.
And this time she hits it convincingly down the line.
24 all. Set number 4. Single coverage, definitely not enough against the power of Myla Pablo.
Minsan, ganun ka nalang babawi kapag hindi mo nagawa. Oh!
But a big
And
error
that was out.
by Jaja, and showing her inexperience in pressure-packed situations as a rookie for National University.
minsan pag rookie ka, kinakabahan ka sa ganung situation. Lalo na pag ikaw yung napunta sa service area at that point, pag loose na,
Point na lang.
minsan magdadasal ka na sana hindi ako mapunta ng ganung-gano ng ganung time.
Yeah, huwag ka maput sa spotlight, ano? Well, second set point for Adamson. Oh, wow! Another rookie put in the spotlight, same error.
To NU's advantage, of course.
25 all in set number 4. The fans
Nabawi.
nabawi. The fans are loving it. Safe serve from Pablo, just making sure it went in. Blocking si Pineda. Great defense by NU.
Dindin doing it for NU again. Oh, that was a ganon.
May timeout on the floor. We'll go to Adamson.
Isipin nyo lang, mahatid nyo lang maganda yan sa setter. O, anong palo? Okay, C. Running? Okay, running. Takbo. Pag set, cover. Pag running, cover. Ha? Okay lang yan. Basta mahatid natin yung bola. Dali. Dali. Yun lang iisipin nyo dyan. First ball, hatid sa center.
I like how Coach Meneses allows the players to choose. Anong gusto niyo play?
And actually, what he was instructing them was, coveran nyo kung anong set na ibibigay niya. Bantayan nyo yung teammate nyo dahil yung spiker, hindi mo maiwasan na may blocker doon. So, you have to help your teammate by covering.
That was Junel Bakuli with Nilo Ocampo from National University. Looking intently, obviously.
Going back to Pineda.
Wow, what a save there. Set point or match point actually saved by Sheila Pineda.
And the game is tied at 26.
How closer can it get here in set number 4?
Of course, this is a much more needed win by Adamson. If they win this one, they seal. They already put their foot inside the door, inside the final 4.
Wow. Zapata cross court. Unable to dig was Pablo. Third set point for Adamson. Timeout naman NU dito. And we're gonna listen in.
Yung block natin, masyado na naman. Iwan. Tandaan lang. Bumawi ka ngayon, bumawi ka ngayon. Ganda receive tayo, receive. Focus, focus. Si Mai, hindi natin nagre-receive yan.
Bigyan mo ng takpos.
Ano na pag-receive ko? Ako kunin mo lang yung tapat mo.
All throughout that huddle, we hear all of them saying, receive, receive, receive. It all starts with the receive. They want to score a point in this next play to tie the set at 27.
This is the third set point for Adamson. They lost the last two. Let's see if NU can save one more set point. Good reception.
Great receive.
That's just on the line. And again, Dindin Santiago to the rescue.
Dindin Santiago following the orders of Coach Edget. In that last time out, sabi sa kanya, takbo, takbo. And there was no one in that corner.
27 all. Adamson to receive. Zapanta. Back to fourth, or make that back to set point. Their fourth. Adamson, 28-27.
Adamson showing a lot of heart in this set. Definitely not giving up. Nice receive.
Good defense, Adamson. Here comes Cortel. Blocked.
Red block from NU.
This set is never ending.
This is a good ball game.
28 all. Both teams unwilling to budge.
In their first meeting, we see the score reaching up until 28 to 30. So are we gonna see the same thing again?
Oh, Santiago so strong.
Too much power.
The
Nang gigil si Dindin doon sa serve na yon.
The NU savior with an error, putting Adamson at 5th set point. How many tries are they going to need before they close it out?
Great serve! Oh! Balikan ng errors.
29 all, as Adamson has squandered the last 2 set points because of errors.
Again, it's the mental factor affecting the players at this point. Yung kay Dindin, yung gigil, gusto niya na matapos yung game, and on the other hand, si Guevara, medyo kinabahan.
Free ball for NU. Pablo. A little awkward, that hit. Ito si Zapanta, just the push. Saved by Perez, but over-received. Cortel finds the hole. Oh, what a play by Marlene Cortel. 30-29, Adamson, 6th set point.
Great attack from Cortel.
Just
Going
the
through the
quickness.
block and hitting it long. Again, set point for Adamson.
Underhand set para kay Urdas. Good dig by Zapanta. Here comes Pineda. Block.
Great
Good
defense
save.
by NU.
Pineda again. Blocked. Makatuno to Pineda.
Another
Third
set.
time. The Santiago.
You know, it's those really unexpected plays that really make the point.
Hinawi niya na si Ivy Perez. Take a look here. She wanted to take it away and put it
Nagulat
away.
ang Adamson.
Yeah.
Again, Jaja with her taking the advantage with her very, very, very
Yung length niya, no? Just a factor.
yes.
Oh, an error. Pineda puts NU at 2nd match point, 31-30. Costly error on the part of the veteran, Pineda.
Now NU is at match point.
Safe serve. Mula kay Urdas. Pineda will try to redeem herself. She does! Oh, what an amazing play. I can't believe I'm seeing what I'm seeing.
Pineda just hitting that off the block. Again, using her power.
And the mental toughness of both teams on the brink of collapsing.
Pineda with that stare down after that hit.
Of course. 31 all. Jaja blocked by Pineda. Pablo. Check ball.
Much better defense for Adamson, but that was too much.
3rd match point. National University.
Pablo smartly hitting it off the hands of Makatuno, the smaller blocker.
Another safe serve. The tip by Makatuno. And you sets up. Pablo blocked by Maat. Saves another match point. 32 all. Set number 4. The fans are getting their money's
Crazy.
worth. Just in this set alone. Sulit ka na.
Nobody wanting to give up this match.
Just long by an inch from Mylene Paat. 4th match point, National University.
We have been constantly plagued by service errors at the crucial moments of this
Yeah,
game.
no? At least 3.
Great serve by Pablo.
Pineda. That's over-received.
Oh!
Guevara. Error.
And an error.
Finally wins it for NU.
Finishing the game. Again, it's the errors that really make a big difference. It made a big difference in this game. The service errors, and that one was not the ideal ending, but it was a great game, definitely.
Hard-fought win for National University. Adamson showed everything that they had, but it was just not enough. Take a look at the confirmation of the 4-set win by National University over Adamson. Pretty much identical to their first meeting in the first round. RCBC life-changing move from RCBC Savings Bank My Loans. It's life-changing.
Take a look at this in Santiago, really stepping up in the fourth set to lead NU to that gripping win against Adamson.
And obviously, you know, with her performance today, as always, Dindin Santiago is our Gatorade Fuel Player of the Game. Gatorade win from within. What a performance for her, no? She was getting iced, she was getting stretched. Despite the pains and aches nararamdaman niya, she still played up to par.
Great fighting spirit from Dindin Santiago, leading her team from the first set until the last. And we see her really stepping up in today's game, doing 21 points, 19 coming from attacks and 2 from blocks. And that's Dindin Santiago, our best player of the game.
Just to give you a heads up on the women's volleyball action on Wednesday, dito lang sa arena in San Juan, LaSalle takes on UE to try and send this season into a stepladder format, while in the second game, Ateneo will take on UST starting at 2 p.m. until 6 on ABS-CBN Sports in Action. What a win here for National University. They go up 12-1, while the Lady Falcons fall to 6-7. Thanks to our director Al Neri and producer Malu Neri. For Trisha Robredo, Mitch Del Carmen, my partner Gretchen Ho. Great job, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm Eric Tipan. Thanks for watching our coverage of the women's volleyball tournament dito lang sa ABS-CBN Sports in Action. Hatid sa inyo ng ABS-CBN Sports.
This is the UAAP Season 76 Women's Volleyball Tournament. Greatness never ends. The following has been a special presentation of ABS-CBN Sports.